We got our bikes stolen. Tell you while I'm sitting, most beautiful places ever, Lake Tahoe. We got our e-bikes stolen while we were in Vegas. We were parked at the Westgate Hotel. We did a lot of research to park there. It was the heat wave was coming through, the heat advisory. It was like 120 degrees in Vegas. We were going there for a show, and so we decided to use points to book a hotel for 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday night. We didn't have to drain our batteries / sleep in that type of heat in the van. We want to stay in the Strip, and like staying in the Strip in a van is not very feasible. So parked at the Westgate Hotel. We checked in Saturday at 3 p.m. and I picked the Westgate because they advertised and marketed for RV parking on the Chase portal, which is where we booked it with our points, and on their website. They offer complimentary valet and complimentary self-parking, which a lot of hotels do not. And they heavily advertise for RV parking. We get there, we asked valet where to park, we asked the front desk where to park, and we're very paranoid about the van in general, so we specified 3 to 4 times, is it safe, is it secured, is it patrolled, are there cameras, is there security walking around? Like, obviously we're in the Strip in Las Vegas, we're naive to a certain point, but not that naive. They reassured us like 3 separate times, the front desk and the valet, and they told us to park in the Superbook parking lot, which is like their sports betting area, and there were a couple other vans and RVs over there, and we parked underneath the light. It's all security inside, not outside. And this was at like 3:30 when we finally got out of the van and parked and got our stuff and went inside and to the hotel, went and got dinner. And before we were going to bed that night, we were like, oh, we should just, you know, go check on the van, go keep an eye on it. And we went out there around 10:30 p.m. and we were walking up to the back of the van, and the tarp was on the ground and all of our chains and locks were cut and the bikes were gone. The only reason I can laugh about it now is because we are safe and healthy, and that's the main thing that matters. It's just material things. It really fucking sucks, but when it comes down to it, we're safe and healthy. The van did not have a scratch on it. It was not broken into. The van was totally okay. Our hitch was a little damaged because they had to yank and pull some things off to get the bikes off of there and break several locks. There were 2 locks on each bike that lock the back tire from being able to move. Mine was a chain lock, and Evan's was a lock that attaches, like screws into the bike, that's made by Rad Power Bike. Those were still gone. Those were gone. So those are still on the bike. We also have alarms on our bikes that we can set with a remote, kind of like a car alarm, and they're touch sensitive, and those were set and they were on when we left. So those probably went off for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how the robbers like decided to go about that, whether they broke them or whether they could get them off. I'm not sure. They're pretty heavy duty. But yeah, we stood there with our jaws on the ground for about 5 minutes and then picked up the tarp and figured out what to do next. We found security inside, and this was about 5 hours of time where it could have happened. We were the first people to notice it, and it was very obvious that we were robbed with the chains and whatnot, and our tarp being on the ground, everything cut. We went inside and got the security that was sitting inside, and she referred us to their security manager, Vicky, who was very nice, very helpful. I think she helped as much as she could. We filled out an incident report, and she suggested that we fill out a police report online. So we did that the following morning, took pictures of everything, and she also very heavily suggested that we reach out to the risk management team with Westgate Hotel, which is like the corporate level of risk management. And so I actually just sent them an email yesterday, a day and a half after the fact that it happened, and I stated everything, stated, you know, how much everything costs, stated what we were told by hotel staff and the marketing on the website for RV parking, that it was safe and secure. But yeah, it was a very bummer start to the week. And it's a good reminder to not necessarily be naive, but also a good reminder that things are just things. And luckily we were not inside of the van. It wasn't our van. It wasn't us, most importantly. It's just a hard lesson to learn. So we don't have any e-bikes anymore. So that sucks, but how can you be mad? But we'll see what risk management says. I'll keep you guys updated if you're curious about that. We knew going into this that when you have bikes, you're basically accepting the fact that they can get stolen at any time because no lock can keep them that safe, unless they're like in a box, in a metal box, or inside your car or inside your house. So we knew that signing up with this. We just thought we were being safer than we were, I guess. I don't know, but we are safe. And the following day we stayed because the show that we were going to was on Sunday, so obviously we weren't going to let that like ruin our lives. We stayed and went to our show and saw S.G. Lewis and met S.G. Lewis. So if we had to lose our bikes in order to meet our favorite artists, I guess that's how life works.